Hi, my name is Jenna. I'm an intern here at St. Haven Wildlife Sanctuary. So for today's Keeper Talk, I'm going to be talking about our marble phase red fox, Oreo, who's hanging out back there, chewing on a little treat. So Oreo here is one of our newest and youngest residents at Safe Haven. She's only be turning 1 on March 30th. Because of this, she's extremely playful, so you can oftentimes find her sprinting around her enclosure and climbing all over. She is a former pet, so someone did buy her from a breeder in Illinois, and they only kept her for a couple of months, probably realizing how bad of a pet she was, and then they ended up sending her to a wildlife rehabilitator under the impression that she could be released into the wild. Unfortunately, she cannot. Her coat color is not one that you would find in the wild, and is very social and very habituated to people, so she could not be released back. She does not have the instincts that are necessary to survive in the wild, and her coat color would just be a hindrance because she'll stick out like a sore thumb. But yeah, so generally though, red foxes can be found all over the world. They're the most widely distributed and populous of the wild canids, and so because of this, they're extremely resourceful and they can adapt to a lot of diverse habitats. So you can find them in forests, to deserts, to even farms in the suburbs, which is pretty incredible. But yeah, so for red foxes, there are 4 phases or colorations that you can find naturally occurring in the wild. So the common red, there's also a black, silver, and a cross phase or coloration. And then in captivity or for selective breeding purposes, you can find around 70 different phases or colorations. So anything like a marble phase right here, there's even a champagne phase and a fire phase. And generally what purpose of these coat colors are for fur, like fur trading, for coats and stuff like that, or for pets. So one thing to note, important thing to note though, is that Oreo is still a wild animal, so she does not make a good pet. Some of you guys may have heard of the experiment that started in the 1950s over in Russia on a fox farm, and what happened is the experiment aimed to try and determine why and how domestication works, like how we ended up getting sheep and cattle and like dogs and cats, and how they're not as wild as their relatives like wolves and of the like. And so they aimed to do that, and after about 50 generations, it was surprisingly the foxes actually started to act more dog-like. So they would really wanted human interaction, and then and then surprisingly also, they started to change morphologically, like traits started to change, so their coat colors started to change, started to get like spots and different colors that weren't common, and then they also started to get like floppy ears and curly tails. However, this does not correspond with Oreo. So Oreo is not considered even more domestic or tame, because what happens for her is people are just breeding for this coat color. So just to continue to breed for this coat color, you're not actually creating a tamer fox. It takes like 50 generations or longer, depending on how what foxes you're using. And even then, they're still wild animals. They'll still pee everywhere, bite you all the time, and they're very destructive animals. Tell you for the fact, Oreo, she's being really good right now, but this is not how she usually is. But yeah, yeah, because she doesn't really look like a red fox, she still shares a bunch of the characteristics of wild red foxes. So she is a crepuscular animal, which means she's most active at dusk and dawn. So during the day you can oftentimes find her napping. She takes naps all over the enclosure, a whole bunch of random spots. And then she's also still classed as an omnivore. So even though Oreo loves chicken and beef like no other, she also has a surprising love for blueberries and blackberries. Sometimes like when it would snow, you would hide them in a pile of snow for her, and she'd just like dig them up and like inhale them basically, which is really good for her because she'll be here for about 10 to 15 more years as the average lifespan in captivity, and since we know this, we're looking forward to giving her all of her favorite foods for the rest of her time here. Yeah, thank you for watching.